Hello, my name is Andy Peterson, Village Manager with the Village of Bayside. I'd like to provide you today with an update on the status of the Bayside Municipal Water Project, the voluntary water project that's scheduled to take place in 2015. This is the latest update as of December 10th, 2014. Because of the voluntary nature of this project, the project I know can be very cumbersome and at times convoluted, but I think it's important to walk through not only where we have been, but where we are and where we're headed. To this point, the final deadline for signups was November 21st, and that deadline was to convert low and medium routes to strong. People can still sign up if they're on the project route. However, if you're not on the project route, you should contact the association, Penny Goldman, or myself to discuss your options. On November 25th, the Bayside Board of Trustees adopted the preliminary special assessment and set a public hearing for December 18th. On December 1st, the village mailed the notice of all the public hearing to all the association members in the 2015 project area and also published it not only in the Bayside Now but in the posting boards throughout the village. If you received a notice in the mail from the village regarding the December 18th public hearing on the proposed assessment, that is an opportunity for residents who have indicated that they would like to volunteer for the project and enter the project at the proposed assessment level to voice their opposition to the assessment. During the first process, no one actually participated in that public hearing because it is voluntary in nature. At the same time, on December 18th, the village board will consider the adoption of an initial resolution to sell special assessment bonds to continue to facilitate the financing package available to residents. During the month of January, on the 16th, the City of Mequon, who will actually be doing the bidding and the contracting, will make the bid packets available. On February 5th, that'll be a big day because the bid opening will come back and we'll be able to determine what the actual price of this project will be and compare that to the engineer's estimate. On February 6th, this is a very important date to note that if people want to opt out of the project, this will be the final opportunity for project participants to opt out of the project on February 6th. At the February 9th Bayside Village Board meeting, the Village Board will consider the adoption of a final resolution approving the plans and specifications, as well as the resolution to the determination of special assessments for each property. That'll also establish 3 payment alternatives, whether or not a resident would like to prepay by April 1st of 2015. There's also an opportunity to prepay by November 1st of 2015, and that would include additional finance charges, or the third option would be to finance with B bonds. I know at this point you're probably just wondering and have the question, when am I going to get water? But there's a few more steps we need to walk through as part of the process. On April 1st will be the final opt-in date for the financing. After that, only if a waiver and consent form is signed will people be able to opt into the financing, which will be levied by the village board on April 9th. The April 1st date is also the first deadline for the prepay special assessment. All people joining thereafter must join the association, sign the waiver, and pay the assessment amount, and cannot be considered for the financing. On April 9th, the Bayside Village Board will meet to consider awarding the sale of the B bonds for those that are included in the financing. On May 12th will be the closing date on the B bonds and the financing to move the project forward, and at the same time the City of Mequon will award the construction contract. Shortly thereafter, construction will begin and will continue May throughout probably the close of the construction season of 2015. Another significant date will be November 1st, which will be the deadline to prepay the special assessment. This will be the special assessment plus finance charges to be determined at the February meeting date. So with all of this said, what do you need to do now? If you want water and have already joined the association, the one thing you need to do is decide whether or not you would like to prepay or finance your portion of the project by April 1. We will have more information that'll be forthcoming in the middle of February to help you make that decision. If you haven't joined the association but want to be part of the 2015 project, you need to check to make sure your home is in the project area. If it is in the project area, you need to review the association documents, complete the contact information form, the certification of formation document, as well as complete the waiver and consent of special assessment form, and bring a $300 check made payable to the Bayside Municipal Water Project number 1 to be included in that project. That should be done as soon as possible. The earlier the better, but no later than April 1st of 2015. All of these documents are available on the village website, or if you want to stop into Village Hall, we'd be more than happy to assist you with that as well. So with all this information that I've gone through in approximately the last 20 minutes, what are the most important things to remember? First, 656 homes can potentially be served by this project. Out of the currently 656 properties that can be served, 490 or 75% are currently participating in the project. At the end of this project, over 86% of the Bayside homes will have access to municipal water. The engineer's estimated project cost is $6,465,810. The current projected assessment is estimated at approximately $680 per year in principal, or over a 20-year period, $13,900. That is based on 20-year financing. I must reiterate that that is for the principal cost, and additional finance and interest charges will be applicable and determined in the early part of 2015. The association is currently soliciting bids from companies to install private laterals to achieve the economies of scale as indicated in the presentation, and we should have that information and be able to distribute that in the early part of 2015 as well. And finally, just touching on the B-bond financing that will be available, to reiterate, it requires a maximum not to exceed special assessment number, which I mentioned and is indicated above. If the cost exceeds that maximum assessment, the project will need to be rebid and start over. As part of that financing, you'll be able to amortize your payments over 20 years, and importantly, your first payment will not be due until January 31st of 2017.